Hi, I'm Craig Noble from Good Shepherd Veneta. I was the first alternate lay deputy to the General Convention in Austin, Texas this year. And I was asked to give my insights, views, or feelings about some of the convention. Okay, so the highlight for me at the General Convention was the Saturday night revival Eucharistic service. The presiding bishop uh, did his sermon, and it was about 40-minute sermon, and it was it had the room really energized. So it was it was amazing, and of course, then after that we went outside where they had a big Texas barbecue, and I don't know how many thousands of people were there. Um, it was big, and so that's what was the highlight for me was that. One of the other questions that we were looking at was the admittance of, or how I felt about the admittance of Cuba back into the church. And I was for it. I know that there were some issues that were presented to us a couple months before, that some major problems, one of them being the funding of their pension, because it's been 50 years without any money being set aside for them. So how would they handle that? That still has to get resolved, and I'm sure with a lot of other down in the trenches type of things to work on. But what they ended up with doing was the House of Bishops ruled that the decision to remove them from the church back in 1966 was unconstitutional. And so they reversed their issue. So it wasn't a vote where we had to, do we want to have them in or not? It was, we made a mistake and we're correcting that mistake. So when it came to the House of Deputies, we didn't have to vote on an amendment to, and then work with the House of Bishops to get it passed. We just concurred with them that we agree that it should not have happened. Another one of those, the questions that I have was, what I hope the people of the congregations of our diocese understand about the General Conventions. What really impressed me was the legislative order that everything was run in. It was well organized. Robert's Rules of Orders at the most structured version of that, not like what you would have in a small vestry or small community meeting, but what you would normally see if you were watching the House of Congress or the Senate in Washington, D.C., where you don't speak to anybody except for the chair. So that eliminates arguments. Very strict on the time limits. They had mics and cameras and lights that were on, and everyone was allowed to give up to 2 minutes, and they had 20 minutes of total time to discuss an amendment. And when your 2 minutes were up, the mic was turned off, the camera was turned off, the lights were turned off, and you'd walk away and the next person would get up there to do their talk. So it was handled really nice, no problems. I was impressed with the way that was. And there was another question on gun control, which I didn't attend, so I can't answer that question. So I took the other one, which was the revival, and as I already mentioned earlier, that's what was, to me, the outstanding part of the convention was that Saturday night. Okay, so I hope you at some point get a chance to attend a convention, be it the diocesan convention or the general convention every 3 years, and get to see in your own eyes how that's run and learn from that. Okay, thank you, and bye-bye.